Well, hello there. Welcome to the long awaited webinar that I've been talking about and just never got around to it. Okay, for those of you who might not know me, if you're not familiar with my Facebook page and my live videos, I am Melanie Dufour. I am the owner of Glow Juicery and the Recovery Studio in Summerside, Prince Edward Island, and I am also a Thinking into Results certified consultant through the Proctor Gallagher Institute. My consulting business is called Mindsight Consulting. So what I do is I take you from a mindset where you're at, we do a little bit of a mind shift, and then we get you to a mindsight, living with the vision of the future. Uh, we're in fantastic time right now, 2020. January is just coming to an end. And I'm curious to find out how your January started out. How did the new decade start out for you? See, to me, this new decade is just a big deal. The last decade just flew by, didn't it? It was just crazy. I mean, I've gone through so much in the last 10 years. It's mind-bending, really. I got married. I'd started my career as an RCMP. That was in 2008 on Prince Edward Island. I moved up north, Northwest Territories on the relief unit. I traveled the whole territory. I did 2 years in Tuktoyaktuk. That was an amazing, amazing post. I still have Tuktoyaktuk in my heart. I think Tuktoyaktuk will always be my favorite post. And then I also did a 1-year peacekeeping mission in Haiti, in Port-au-Prince. It was an amazing year. A lot was learned. I went back to post-traumatic stress. I went back to Northwest Territories where I got out with post-traumatic stress. And I am able to talk about this with a smile now, because if it wasn't for post-traumatic stress, I wouldn't know life as I know it now. And it's through dark times I found my purpose. So, made lemonade out of lemons. So, but this is what I want to talk to you about on this webinar here is the power of the mind, how we actually have the power within to move forward from our past. We don't have to be prisoners from our past, right? We can find freedom. We can create our own freedom. We can create our new reality. So the problem with people not being able to achieve their goals right now, or just being very frustrated and disappointed that they're not getting the results that they want, is only because they don't have the right perception. We're just stuck. We're concentrating on the current results that we have. So when we do that, when we're thinking about the current results, well, you have to keep in mind that the results that you have right now, they're the result of a past thinking, right? So as long as you keep focusing on that, what you have right now, what you're dealing with right now, whatever is unpleasant to you, whatever you don't want, that forces you back to past thinking. You're living with a vision of the past. We need to move past that. So we need to, if you're not satisfied with something right now, well, there's something better that you want. Okay, get clear on that thing. What is it that you want that's not what you're dealing with right now? Get clear on that. You put that in your mind, put some feeling into it. You use your imagination, pretend with yourself. How would it feel if this was my result? How happy would I be? How would life be? How would I react? How much more energy would I feel that I have? How would my relationships be? How would my bank account look like? Would I start that business? It's very simple and yet very difficult at the same time. See, get this, we are a product of our environment. We were conditioned a certain way, okay? From the moment that you were born, in your house, your parents, God love them, anything that happened around you, whatever your environment was, you absorb that, because when you're born, your intellectual mind, your mental capacities are not fully developed yet, right? You're not able to use your senses to really make decisions, right? So it's only your subconscious mind that's open. And your subconscious mind doesn't have the ability to reject, it can only absorb. So I'm sure most of you have heard by now affirmations, right? So that's why affirmations, you repeat yourself, you tell yourself over and over an affirmation that means something to you is because you want to put it in your subconscious mind. And then you want to mix the emotional mind, the emotions with this, right? We have to learn to mix the two together. It's so easy to do it the negative way. We do it all the time. I had a great conversation with somebody this morning. God love him. He makes me learn. That man pushes me, and I love it because I grow, and it's uncomfortable, but I grow. So we were talking about if I were to talk to him a certain way and tell him things, he would get right away, he would get mad at me. He'd get pissed with reason, right? That person has a tendency of just self-sabotaging all the time. His self-talk is, I, we wouldn't talk to a person like that, but he's doing it to himself, right? So therefore, well, he can't help to be but in a depressed mood all the time and being in a very negative vibration. He's talking to himself like that. So, like I was saying, we are products of our environment. We've been conditioned a certain way. So that brings us to paradigms. What are paradigms? Paradigms are just a set of beliefs that we have, set of habits that we've collected along the way. And most of them are not even ours. Like I was saying, like when you were a baby, whatever was going on around you, we absorbed because we didn't have a choice. And then as you're going up to the age where you can actually make your own decision, conscious decision, well, whatever's going on around you, it's being repeated every hour of the day, every day for the week, for the month, for the year after year. So that's a whole lot of repetition that you're exposed to. So if you were in a household that was filled with anxiety, for instance, let's say anxiety, somebody was plagued with anxiety in the family, and that's what the family knows, that's what they were dealing with. Okay, well, that's what you're going to know. That's the energy you're going to absorb. So what are you going to end up telling yourself, or what's the story you're going to start telling other people? Oh, my family, I come from a family of anxiety. Yeah, it's in me. You've accepted that. You don't have to accept it. You can change your belief system, because of course, if you start to believe something, it's going to happen, and it's going to play a role on your body, and eventually it's going to cause dis-ease. The word disease, you always hyphenate that word. Dis-ease, it's a body not at ease. So from my experience from post-traumatic stress, well, that's where the change happened. Well, I remember now in hindsight, looking back, it happened in 2012, and that's when I started having symptoms, numbness, shortness of breath. So there was one event that I was not prepared for it mentally, or none of my senses were ready for what I was exposed to, not at all. Whereas I'd done a really good job before, really training my mind and my body and my breath. Every time I get a call, okay, I anticipate, being exposed to this. Okay, how am I going to react? Okay, this is what I'm going to do, right? And then you talk about it with your partner as you get to a call. But that one instant, I was not prepared. And then I didn't really get a chance to kind of deflate from it after, because I had to leave. I was on a relief unit, so I had to travel and get to another post. And I remember the 2 weeks after that, I was getting shortness of breath, numbness right here inside my arm and my stomach. Like my stomach would always tighten up, and and you have butterflies in your stomach, but there's a different, positive butterflies when you're in love, and the ones that are not liking that feeling. So breathe it in, breathe it out, and so I went a couple of years dealing with that. Eventually, I knew there was something off with me. And that's when I was in Tuktoyaktuk, and my supervisor at the time, he was amazing. I told him that something was wrong with me, and I just needed to kind of go focus on that for a little bit. And what I did is I went to an ashram. I was always one to be a little extreme when it came to to me and self-care, because I was so full of energy. I was known to be the person that made other people feel good, right? You had something to talk about, a problem that you need to deal with, you come to me and I help you do that. But then it's like, now it's me. So I didn't know how to deal with that. So found an ashram, And I wanted to learn yoga really, really bad. And I didn't even know what I was getting myself into. I thought I was going to learn yoga. But I did learn yoga, just not the yoga I had in mind. It was hatha yoga and mostly meditation and going within. And, you know, the universe works in funny ways sometimes. It led me exactly where I need to be. And it really helped me go within. And those 10 days of just meditating, it was the biggest thing. So I learned to, bring order in my mind, to bring order in my heart and in my body. So this is what I want to talk to you about here, like the Thinking into Result program that I talk about, that's the program that I facilitate with my clients through their coaching. There's 12 lessons in that program. And what we do is we study those lessons 2 weeks at a time. Yeah. Repetition over and over and over for 24 weeks, 6 months, sometimes a year, all depending. And then we stick with that information. We stick with those lessons and we rework it. Because every time you study the lesson, the perception changes because you become more aware. So when you first started, you're like, oh, this is so redundant. Why am I doing this? It's so simple. It's so simple, childlike almost. It's almost insulting. It really is. Because we overcomplicate things. But we were never taught how to think. We were never taught how to make decisions. And it should be the most important thing for us to learn. Look around. Look at the people that you know. Who do you know is super aware of themselves? That they can actually, with confidence, say how they feel, how they react, or how they perceive the world and their opinion or their perception without even being worried about what others think or say about them. Very few. We're not taught awareness. And awareness can only come from studying yourself. It's the only way. And it's funny because we are expected to eventually learn self-confidence. Well, you're going to go to school, you're going to get a job, you're going to get a family, you're going to have this great life, you're going to be confident, you're going to be someone. But we make it so hard on ourselves. And it's only usually whenever, excuse my French, shit hit the fan, when in our adult life, when things are really not going the way we wanted them to go, and we don't have the coping skills. We don't know. And we're filled with knowledge. We're filled with so much knowledge and training because did you know that companies now spend billions of dollars on employees to learn more? I was one of them. Well, not billions, but I loved learning. I wanted to know it all. And it was great knowledge, exceptional knowledge that I acquired. We don't get to put into practice. I'm going to show you an example here. So Dr. Thurman, in 1934, he was a healing doctor, a holistic doctor, and he realized that he was not making his patients better. He was only treating symptoms. He realized that we had to make somebody better, they had to treat them as a whole, right? So he came up with the idea and the awareness that everything has an image. We think in images. So if I ask you to describe me something in your house, you'd be able to just think about it, tell me exactly what it looked like, the size and whatnot. Your car, for instance, what color, what does it have inside, cloth or leather? You'd be able to describe your car to a T, right? But then he realized, well, there's no image to describe the mind, right? Because if we talk about the mind, we are inclined to see the brain. The mind is not the brain. The mind is everywhere. The mind is energy. Universal mind, right? Our brain operates through the mind. Ideas come to the brain through the mind. That's a little deep. We'll keep that for, maybe we'll do a webinar on that later. So here's a picture. He came up with the image to explain the mind, the stick figure. So picture this, the bigger circle here, that would be your mind. Actually, I'm going to change. I have a few designs here for you. So up here we have the conscious mind. Okay. Conscious mind, we have all our senses there. We see, we hear, we smell, we taste, we touch. Okay. So we gather information from those senses. So as a police officer, it was really, really important for me to develop those senses, right? I had to be aware. I had to know like what was going on around me at all times. At all times. At the bottom here, we have the subconscious mind. Now, this is not what the mind looks like. This is just an image that he gave us to help us understand how the mind operates. Okay, so the mind has many parts, or the brain has many parts, the mind has many parts, but this is how we're just going to, for the sake of this explanation, conscious mind, subconscious mind. This is the body. The body is an instrument of the mind. So whatever goes on here is going to affect this. How many people do you know that were just lived miserable life and then ended up with dis-ease? It's been proven that stress is the main culprit when it comes to dis-ease, right? Possibly even cancer. So it makes sense so that whatever goes on in your mind, whatever idea, so ideas are going to come at the conscious mind. So if you think about it over and over and over again, well, then you're going to end up giving it a feeling. You're going to attach a feeling to this. And what's going to happen is that you're going to embody this feeling. And it's going to have an effect on your body. So the best way that I can explain it, because of my own experience, was, well, that's exactly what happened with me with post-traumatic stress and that one event that kept coming back in flashbacks. See, it wasn't the event itself that affected me. The event was just that, an event. Nothing has meaning but the meaning you give it. It was just an event. It wasn't bad, it wasn't good, it was an event. I chose to give it a meaning. I reacted, right? I gave it a meaning according to my own perception and experience and belief system that I had at the time. I felt a feeling, numbness right away, shortness of breath, and then my body remembered that. So I embodied the feeling that I felt as I was exposed to that event. It's the feeling that kept coming back and bothering me. It was always the same feeling. It wasn't the event itself. So every time I would have a flashback, a nightmare, that vision, boom, right away, same exact feeling. My body remembered. So how was I able to change that? I did therapy. My therapist was amazing. She was the best therapist I could have had for me. She was great. And therapy has its place. It's really, really important to get stuff out of your mind. And then they are equipped, they are trained to do what they do, and they do it well. Well, mine did. But then that one thing that kept coming back that wasn't giving me the results that I wanted, basically, well, I found myself stuck. Therapy was not working for me. I needed to move forward. I felt that if I was doing therapy and just talking about it over and over, it didn't matter how I changed the story, I was still living in the past. I didn't want to go back in the past. I wanted to move forward. I didn't want to be there anymore. I didn't want to be stuck there anymore. I needed to move past it. How was I going to do that? I started studying Bob Proctor, after the movie The Secret came out, the hit movie, and I became obsessed with that movie, and especially Bob. Bob just really, he got me. He really got me. When I watched him, it's almost like he knew me. He was talking to me. And that's how I became a police officer, because believe you me, I was not set to to become a police officer. I was in a bad place in my life. I was in a dark spot. I was irresponsible. I was a weekend alcoholic. I had a job. I did love my job. It was challenging, but it was just, I was an unhappy Melanie, very unhappy. But as I just listened, I had this, those, what they call nano iPods back then, a little clip there. Oh, that was fancy like that. It was pink. So I would work out I'd go for runs every day, and then I would just listen to this over and over and over again. And then there was also Brian Tracy that I listened to. And then there's something to be said about doing exercises and moving while you're feeding your mind information. Your body remembers. Yeah. So I trained myself to eventually believe in myself that I could go ahead and become that RCMP. And that worked for me. And that was like, that was the only thing that I ever really truly accomplished in my life then, was to, well, make me become the person that I really wanted to become, that I believe I should be to become an RCMP. And then I went ahead and become an RCMP member. Now, I'm going to be honest, my grades were bad. I was 32. I'd been out of school for years, and I just didn't grasp it. And now looking back, excuse my French, and it's not to be disrespectful about the law, I never gave two shits about the law. That was not the reason why I was joining the RCMP. I was joining the RCMP because I wanted to help people. I thought that that was going to give me power to kind of meddle in people's lives and just help them make good changes, fix their life. And I did that. I'm sure there's a lot of people that I helped. I know a few people that I know I helped change their lives. And then there's some that, you know what, I ran myself almost sick trying to help them. And if it doesn't come from that person, you can't do anything, right? Again, and now that I understand, it was their set of belief, right? And how they were raised. And anyway, such is life. And yeah, so that is how that worked for me. So, and I remembered that, and that served me really well throughout my career. That's how I went to Haiti. When I was writing my application to go to Haiti, no, I wasn't applying to go to Haiti. No. I was telling them I was going to Haiti. Yeah. So everything that I actually did during my career, I was very, when I wore that uniform, for me, it just gave me that, the belief in myself. And I had confidence. So I started all kinds of projects, and most of the time I would ask permission because, it's what you had to do in ranks. But most of the time it was like I was kind of telling them I was going to do this. And a few times I just did things and asked for forgiveness after. Because I was up there, especially up north, excuse me. I was going up north for self-development. That was the agreement that Davey and I had. I was going to go work on myself, become the best me that I could be, become the best police officer that I could be. And mind you, my family wasn't up north with me. I was there by myself. So that was my life working. So I went to the extreme. My complete identity was Constable Dufour, not Melanie Dufour. So, like I didn't have that balance. So I remembered all that, and how, I remembered all my accomplishments. So that helped me alleviate the confusion about being confused, right? And then there's also the fact that my father passed away in the midst of my post-traumatic stress. And I found that I had changed after he passed away, because I was more of service to them, to mom and dad, before he passed away, no longer thinking about me. I wasn't feeding emotion to the thoughts of confusion in my mind, right? Because I knew when I found out that dad was had cancer, I knew it was going to be quick. I just knew, sometimes you just have that feeling. It was so clear to me. So I dedicated my life 5-6 weeks just to be of service to mom and dad. And I really focused on them. And not once when we were going through that, did I ever think about me. And then I realized that when I came back home after dad had passed. So that was such an epiphany for me. Like, oh my God, like this happened without even me trying, right? Because I wasn't feeding what was going on in there. So if I wasn't feeding what was going on in my mind, the confusion about being confused and then the nightmares, well, that meant that then I wasn't getting those feelings. See what I'm saying? So, I wasn't cured just like that. And I shouldn't say cured, but it didn't happen overnight like that. It was just a realization that I had. And then, well, of course, I was grieving losing my dad, and I was also grieving losing me, because keep in mind, I was telling you about, like, I've given my whole being, my whole identity was Constable Dufour. So I mourn her because I don't know where she went. I lost her just like that, just like that. The day after my last call of service, gone. Yeah. And still to this day, I don't have an explanation for that, but and I don't need an explanation. I feel good. I might have lost her, but I found the real me. I found my purpose, right? And then the meaning that I chose to give to losing my father is that dad gave his life so that I could find mine again and find my purpose and be of purpose, be of service, live on purpose, teach people. And once you live for something bigger than you, that you're not focused on you, you're focused on something bigger than you and be of service. Ooh, there's a lot of healing in there. There is healing that comes from this. There's self-confidence that comes from healing. It doesn't mean the pain is not there. It doesn't mean that the fear is not there. It doesn't mean that I didn't have dark times within that time. But I wasn't just stuck feeling sorry for myself or being a victim of my circumstances. Right. So I just changed what the idea that I was putting in my conscious mind over and over again. No, I wrote the script of who I wanted to be and how I wanted to feel. I wrote her and I became her. It was like 37 pages long. The smallest detail, I wrote it in there. Who I was hanging out with, where I would go for dinner, or when Davey, when he was home, and how I was going to run my business. And I was building Glow Juicery. So I took all that negative energy that I had, all the pain, and the tears from losing my dad. And I was talking to my dad the whole time that I was painting my new place at Spinnaker's Landing, right? I was building Glow and I was just talking to dad in my mind. He was beside me, helping me paint. And I was imagining myself behind the counter, talking with my clients, sharing information and how our products were just guaranteed to add value to their life. And that, I really, everything as my life is right now, I played in my mind before. I was that person in my mind first before I became her. Mind is a powerful thing. And your attitude will always give you what you want. So if you have a bad attitude, well, guess what? You're going to have bad experiences. If you have a good attitude, you're going to have good experiences. So I talked about the knowledge, right? That we're always sent for training over and over. It's $1 billion industry. So, and the school system is that. It gives us valuable knowledge. We learn great things in school and at our jobs. If you're a salesperson, you'll get a lot of training on that. Myself as a police officer, I was given, I was able to obtain like great training on all kinds of topics, even mental health. I was an R2MR facilitator, but it didn't save me, but it helped me recognize what was going on with me though. So we're given all kinds of knowledge, right? But then over here, the paradigms. So the set of beliefs that we acquired as we went on. So when you were a kid, when you started a new job, for example, I can only speak for as a police officer, but it goes in any organization, whether you're a teacher, whether you're a nurse. So you start your job and we're all full of piss and vinegar, right? We're all so eager, we're going to change the world. But then we start off, right? Fresh. And then there's a culture. There's a set of belief. There's a paradigm within that culture. That's going to play a part on you. Okay, so you're going to absorb, your subconscious mind is wide open because you're so new, you're learning. New responsibilities, right? And then you absorb beliefs that are going on around you. So coworkers that are sharing their perception. If you have a bitter coworker who's going to share that information with you, his belief system and his feelings, you're going to absorb that. So paradigms and belief systems, some of them are not even yours. You've been exposed to somebody's belief over and over. Then eventually it kind of becomes yours. And you're like, well, if you really reevaluate your perception about something, your belief about something, you might be like, what? Actually, no, that is not what I believe at all. Why was I conditioned to think like that? Society. It's in everything. TV, the movies we watch, videos, Facebook, Instagram, fitness. Fitness is a big one to affect people, right? Yeah. So, and that in turn, that's going to affect the body. And when we see that affect the body, well, that affects the result you're going to get, because it's going to affect your feelings, right? So if you don't feel good, well, you're not going to take the action that you need to take to move forward, most likely. Right? As soon as fear is going to show up, ooh, it's going to stop you. I can't do that. Self-talk is going to happen. I can't do that. Other people can do that, not me. What are they going to say? What are they going to think about me? So the subconscious mind, book knowledge, and the ability to repeat information. And then we've got the subconscious mind here, the beliefs, the paradigms, the programming, genetic and environmental. And then that's going to play an effect on the body, right? So the actions and results are controlled by the paradigms. So what are your results saying? They're reflecting your paradigms. Are you happy where you're at? Not satisfied. No, because we don't want to be satisfied. Satisfied is just meaning like, oh, okay, we're status quo. We're not moving forward. Are you happy? Are you feeling proud? Are you able to face the fear and work with it? Fear, usually, I'm going to tell you what fear is you only being worried about what other people are going to think and say about you. It's rarely the event itself or the action that you need to take that's going to stop you. It's what you think others are going to think about you. Now, I forget who said this, but it's going to come back to me later. But there's a quote or a poem, if you want to call it. If I want to be free, I got to be me. Not the me you think I should be. Not the me I think you think I should be. Not the me I think Davey thinks I should be. If I want to be free, I got to be me. Not think about what you say or think about me. Because what you think about me ain't none of my business. None of my business. Because whatever you do think about me, that's a reflection of you, right? You'll have your opinions based on your experiences, based on your own set of beliefs. It's got nothing to do with me. I was scared when I first started doing live videos online. I was scared. What are they going to think? Oh my God, little girl from Floki. Oh my God, what are they going to say? Ah. Living in Tignish. Oh my God, what are they going to say up west? Oh. Still alive, still doing them. People that don't want to watch them, well, they just don't log on, right? My businesses, I had 0 experience when I started Glow Juicery. 0. None. Did I do some research? Yeah, a little bit. Yeah. I had some basic knowledge. Very, very basic. But you know what? I thought if I waste time trying to learn how to run a business, time's going to go by. Time goes by fast. We all know that. And I thought, I know what's going to happen. I'm going to talk myself out of doing this. So after I made the decision not to go back to the RCMP, and it was nothing against the RCMP. The RCMP was great to me. It was awesome. I have nothing bad to say about the RCMP at all. I took the money and ran. I could have waited a few months for my 10-year retirement. Could have gotten a small pension, but for what? What would have changed for me to go back or just stay on sick leave till December 15th to get my 10 years? That just seems so wrong. It just, it felt like, well, no, because I'm kind of just playing the system. It's not going to make me feel any good. It's not going to help me start my business. Or others are argued, well, no, you're entitled to stay on sick leave and just take care of yourself. And it was great. It was amazing. Absolutely. In that regard, that was amazing. That was truly amazing. And I could have done that. But to me, I was like, no, because I felt like I would have failed myself. That's not what I wanted to move forward. I was like a bad relationship in my mind. Good guy, like, yeah, but you know what? It's not working for me. I'm breaking up with you. That's how it was. But I always had the belief, though, when I was with the RCMP, that the RCMP never owed me anything. I viewed myself from the get-go, that was an agreement that I had with myself, that I was a business. I was renting my time to the RCMP, and it was up to me as a contractor to offer good service. And I was really open with most people that I worked with. I'm not a believer that others owe you something. No, nobody owes you shit. You owe yourself. So I'm not too sure where I got that. It was probably Dad with his work ethics. I used to work in the forest with him. I was a tree planter, and he whipped my ass. It was not good, but it was good. I got my work ethics from Dad. But yeah, so I don't know where I got that belief, but that's what I had. So nope, I just figured, you know what? I'm going to take my buyout, start the business. Boom, just like that. When I came back, after Dad passed away, I had like 7 weeks to build the business, like physically build the business and order parts and whatnot. No business experience. Jumped in, 2 feet in. Got to make it work. I was committed. Couldn't turn back. It was the best thing I could have done. People will argue that. People will offer their opinions, but opinions are free. So you see the value in those, right? They have their opinions according to their own belief system, right? And what they were taught and what they learned in school or whatever the case may be. That's the way I did it. And I'm really, really proud of myself for the way I did it. I faced my fear. There's not a moment that I wasn't scared shitless. Not one moment. I did it anyways. I just never quit. And I was never, when things didn't work out my way, when I wasn't getting loans or whatever, whenever things weren't coming the way I wanted them, yes, I got upset. I stood in my own way. I stayed stuck looking at the results that I was getting. But I never gave up. Failure was never an option, because I always, when it came to my businesses, I always lived with the vision of the future, because it's not about me. It's about offering a service. And that's how the Recovery Studio was really logical for me to start the Recovery Studio. I wasn't getting any help. I wasn't getting any loans from banks. Nobody wanted to help me, because of course I made mistakes. I lost money. And well, you're starting out, can't keep loans. And I get it. I completely get their perception. I understand policies. I still made it work. Made it work. I have that vision. Very logical. I go against the grain. Not totally against the grain, but I don't conform. I still have people that I deal with for business and people that I kind of have to answer to. And they're like, they shake their head because I'm not doing things according to, whatever form they have. They're like, well, you didn't do what? You're so confused. I'm a paradigm disturber, people. I don't think that I'm better than anybody else. That's not it. But I never wanted to be normal, and I'm living true to that. I am succeeding at that. I got to tell you, I am succeeding at that. So no, my life is not perfect, but I catch myself. I'm aware. I still have moments where, I'll have a bad phase, like I focus on what's not going well. I'm not getting the results that I want. And usually, yes, it's financial, right? Because as a business owner, you have to bring money in to be able to buy produce or be able to pay your employees, pay the bills. So, well, if money is not coming in, it's hard not to get stressed and shortness of breath. Oh my God, how am I going to pay my lease? I'm going to pay my employees. Let me tell you, when the first of the month happens right on the same day as payday, oh, I had many mornings where I cried, not knowing how I was going to pay my employees. But then I sit, meditate, and all of a sudden, money that was owed to me comes in. Oh my God. Oh, you find ways. I learned to match the way income was going to come in instead of lowering my standards of my business. Because there's no way I was going to lower the standards of the business. No, we're in business to offer the best service ever. We want people to feel good when they walk through our doors. Our focus is on you. So that was non-negotiable. So I had to find ways to attract and manifest money. And there's all kinds of ways to do that when you're in business, right? You find other ways, other things to sell, or whatever the case may be, or you just learn to change your perception. Number one, perception. That's so big. If you can change things, change your perception. That's going to change everything. Then ideas come. Yeah. Lost my train of thought. Oh, knowledge. So, yes, we are all given all kinds of knowledge, and they offer a lot of knowledge for free, right? Knowledge. And just on Facebook, on Google, Pinterest, you get whatever knowledge you want, you'll get it. Fingertips, right? Or books. Like I have tons of books here. See, and that's probably another reason why I had, see, all books here. And I read 98% of all these books, but they're all mainly self-help books. So I had a little something to go on for my recovery, right? And knowing how to make my decisions and or good decisions and thinking properly. So with the information that we're given, the training, it's a knowing doing gap. So that's in Thinking into Results program, the 24-week program that I facilitate, the 12 lessons, it's lesson 2. Lesson 1 is goal achieving and goal setting. So we help you, or I help you, or the program. So we help you find what your goal is if you don't know what it is already, and we teach you how to set the goal and make a plan for it. And we want it to be a big goal, not a goal that you know how to do already. We don't want that. There's no value in that. There's no growth. And you don't want to do a goal that you think that you can achieve. Oh, when the kids are out of school, then I'll do that. Or, well, once I have the money, then I'll do that. No, because then you think you can do it. There's no passion there. So if you don't have passion and desire, the goal is just going to fizzle. You're just going to give up on it. And that's usually what happens. You have to aim big. You have to have a big goal. A lot of people will say, oh my God, you're crazy. Like everything you're doing, like you go nonstop. I live on passion. I live on purpose. Illogical for me to have open the recovery studio. Illogical. But that's exactly why it worked, because there was mostly emotional mind behind it. Subconscious mind. I mean, I fed it the ideas, but my self-image, I built it to be strong enough. Although in the spring, she was low. She was not a good self-image. And I was stuck. I was really stuck in my own way. And once I learned to really change things, then things started to happen. So you want to move towards something that really ignites something in you. You have to, because if there's no passion, it's not going to work. So, but most people, what happens, especially busy mom, what I've come to learn with my clients is, well, they had a family and they put their family first. And I get that. I get it. I completely get it. I'd likely do the same thing. So whatever they wanted for themselves, they just pushed down. Can't do that. They got to put the children first. They got to put the husband first. They got to put the family first. And there's something there. And then what happens though when you have a true desire that just wants to come out, and the way I explain it in other, like I've explained in past videos, the self is the creator of yourself. The self is the creator of yourself. So that desire that you feel in here, that's your self wanting to come out. That's your true self wanting to come out and be expressed. It needs to be expressed. Any energy that we feel, I don't know if you're spiritual. So for me, for instance, I'm very spiritual. I'm not talking about religion. I'm spiritual. I believe in a higher power, in the universe, in the white light, whatever it is for you. I do envision spirit coming to and through me. I feel it. I'm also a Reiki healer, and I feel the energy. And I was always very spiritual that way, and I feel it. It comes to and through me. So that desire that you feel inside, that's energy coming to you. Maybe it's spirit talking to you, and it wants to be expressed. But what do we end up doing is suppressing it. So now it's just not expressed. And that's going to turn into anxiety. And anxiety, we don't express anxiety. If we feel anger, we'll express anger. We'll lash out, right? We'll snap. We'll drop a big F-bomb. Sometimes it's all that's needed. And then, you're good. But have you ever noticed that if anxiety is not expressed, it's suppressed because we don't know how to deal with it. So we just keep it inside. So keep it in there long enough. It just wreaks chaos in the whole body, in the mind. And then depression sets in. And then you're just paralyzed by negative vibration, negative energy. So that desire that you feel inside, don't suppress it, explore it. Instead of pushing it, write it out. What is it that you feel? What is it, that excitement? It's not because of your mom that you shouldn't be you and express whatever's in you, express the self in yourself. If anything, you'd be doing your family a favor to be the real you. You don't want to end up being resentful towards your husband or your children. Be you. Your children are going to adapt. They're going to grow. They're going to watch you and learn to be like, oh my God, I can be my own self. But see, that's not what we're conditioned to do. And I get it. But change it. You can certainly truly change it. Another lesson that we go through is the infinite mind. So you learn how to be productive and more efficient, because once you know what it is that you want to do, the goal that you want to set, get feelings. So now, you're so excited. You're excited to get out of bed. So you have that vision in your mind, and your ideas are just going to come. So everything comes in, so effortlessly. You're in flow, right? You'll have bad days, but you can pick yourself up. You'll always be moving towards something, and then you're productive in everything that you're doing, even in your conversations with people. It's really amazing. And then we also cover the secret genie that we call it. That's the infinite mind. There you're going to learn. It's like what we're talking about, right? The subconscious mind, the conscious mind, and how it affects the body. We all have habits. We all do things that are not really serving us. And we do things that are serving us. So keep note of that. What are some of your daily activities that you're doing that are bringing you towards your goal? Awesome. Keep those. The ones that are not. Okay. Where are you wasting time? Are you spending too much time on Facebook? Are you watching TSN too much? Are you on YouTube too much? Okay. Make a list of that. What's the total opposite of the negative one? What's not serving you? Okay. What would be serving me if I didn't do that? Write that. Then you get rid of the negative one. And it's just an exercise. It's just to get it out of your head. You have to know where you're going. You have to know where you're at. You have to be aware of what's working and what's not working, right? You just have to be real with yourself. You really have to call yourself out on your own bullshit. For lack of better words, right? Thinking into results is another lesson. I can't prepare because sometimes I go in a tangent, right? So I have to have my little cues. Innovation and proactive thinking. You learn to think over. You know, remember I said I was talking about living with a vision from the past earlier. So when you focus on, oh my God, I'm so broke right now. I don't know how I'm going to pay my bills. Okay. When you're looking at that, your current situation, what is it? It's a result of what you thought about the day before, the weeks before, the month before. They're the results of past thinking. Okay. Change your thinking if you want to change your results. Okay. We've been conditioned to, when we want to change our reality, we're trying to change the action. And that might work for a little bit, but it's going to be temporary. It's just like a diet or exercise plan. It's going to be temporary. In order to change your reality, you have to change your personality. It's not by reading a book and gaining motivation for a couple days, couple weeks, that's going to get you permanent result. No, you have to change it at the subconscious level. You have to reprogram the subconscious mind. People were like a computer. Basically, we are like a computer. So, okay, my computer right here, nice Mac Pro. Okay. Well, the computer by itself, it's not going to do any good, right? There's a few programs in there. I'm not going to try to explain them to you because I am not techie at all. I'm lucky that I can even do a webinar. But like Safari, I don't know if that's the main is that the main program that I need to operate my computer. Okay. And then when there's something wrong with the programming, ooh, my computer's acting up. Okay, well then we're gonna go see the guys at the store, Mac store or Apple store, and they're gonna fix the programming so that it's gonna work for me and give me what I want. Okay. Programming. So your paradigm that you have right now is a programming that you obtain from other people. Other people, your environment, program that mind. If you're not liking the results that you have right now, well, now you were promoted to the head programmer. Look at that, senior programmer. Well, now it's your job to change your program. It's not easy. And as soon as you start to change the program, well, the old programming, the paradigm, the old belief system, oh, it wants to hang on because you've had a certain belief system for years on end. You've been thinking about that. You've been thinking a certain way over and over and over for years. So if you have a bad self-image, oh my God, I can't do that. Other people can do it. So, like you let everybody else shine, but not you, because it's not you. You're not smart enough. Not smart. Oh, I could never wear anything like that. I don't have the body to do that. Oh, I can't talk in front of people. Oh my God, what are they going to think about me? And this goes on over and over and over and over again, day in, day out, week after week, after month, after years after year. So there's a lot of time and energy spent on here programming your mind, your subconscious mind, your programming with thoughts that are not serving you. You can change that. You just have to change what you're going to put in there. Okay, what is the version of you? What does the best version of you look like? How does she feel? What is she accomplishing? What are people saying about her? Because if you're going to think about what other people are going to think about you, well, why not think about, okay, well, if I accomplish that, show them. What do you think about me now? Play that game. It's so easy to give so much more value to the negative instead of the positive. Why? Be a different person. Go positive. You'll get results and less resistance. Flow. I am a product of the product. I'm not always happy. I have my days, but that's okay. Every time I have a cranky day, usually it's self-induced, right? Because I overwork and I didn't rest and was pushing so hard, working so hard to get the result that I want, but I'm not getting my result. So I focus on that. And then I'm like, oh my God, you created this, you dumbass. I call myself out on my bullshit, but you know what? Every time I have a really bad day, I never have a really bad day. Every time I have oh, I'm a big baby day, the next day I feel amazing and I'm like, oh my God, Melanie, seriously, did you really go there? Wow. And then I laugh at myself and then I move on. Like, I'm like, oh my God, I can't believe I was there. Okay. So you choose the idea that makes you feel good. What is, if money and time was not an object, if self-confidence wasn't an issue, you have all the let's say this is a magic wand. Okay. You are the best version of you. Write that down on a piece of paper right now. Best version of me. Mel with her magic wand. So after I'm done this, you're going to write the script of you and you're going to become you. The self is the creator of yourself. The self is a creator of myself. You can write that down. What does self look like? How does it feel to be that version of you? What are people saying? Oh shit, if she can do it, I can do it. Who are you hanging out with? What are you accomplishing? What's that big dream? Do you have an invention in your mind? Do you want to write a book? You want to start a business? You want to start a podcast? YouTube channel? Or do you just want to be happy and be free and just do whatever you want to do when you want to do? It doesn't have to be big. It's whatever resonates with you, whatever you have in here. What is that thing in here that wants to come out? What is it? Describe it. Go look for it. Go meet it halfway. At least put it on paper if you're not willing to do anything about it now. And go explore it. Okay. Environment is but our looking glass. Mm-hmm. You got to create a winning self-image. I always repeat on my live videos, you can never outperform your self-image. You never will. You have to have an image of yourself in your mind that you want to project to the world. So if I kept thinking of myself, oh my God, I can't talk in public. There's no way I'd be able to talk in public. If going to the gym, if you have weight that you need to release, well, if you think to yourself, I can't go to the gym, I'm fat, I can't wear that cute Gymshark outfit, can't wear Lululemon. Why not? It stretches, looks good on everybody. The gym is made to release weight. The purpose of a gym is to exercise so that we can release weight and meet people and learn from others. People that are looking phenomenal right now, they didn't always look phenomenal. Some of them, yes, but the majority, the percentage is pretty low. Little shout out to Brandy Foley here. Holy shit, that girl looks good. Sorry. Kelsey Wilson. My friend Stacy, I'm just going to call her Stacy, just in case she doesn't want to be mentioned on here. She lives in Northern Ontario. She started her journey, and well, I'm going to say her name because she's open about her journey. Stacy Trottier. So if you're watching this, I shout out to you because that girl, she should write a book. She should write a book. She had children. She had 2 boys, and she started off, and she had quite a start. She had some work to do, and did she ever do the work? She had the perfect mindset. You should see that girl. Oh my God. The body on her, but it's not just the body, it's the attitude that she has. When you follow her on Facebook and Instagram, she shares what she does, what works for her, what she believes in. Natural athletes. She, she's really open that she has to stay away from sugar, because if she goes there, it's not going to work for her. And she shares her failures. She shares, okay, well, I was this amount of pounds, and I was feeling growth, blah blah blah, and this is what I did for the last month, and now this is where I'm at now. It's amazing. It's motivating. Like I feel bad a bit about myself sometimes. Like, oh shit, you can do it. I can do it too. Okay, you really have to have a winning self-image. I trained before I became a cop. When I was training, I really dedicated 2 years to become the person that I really believe that I should be to become a police officer. I ran every day. I ran excessively for years, probably the reason why I needed a fake hip or a hip replacement. But when I was running, in my mind, I was running with the uniform on. I pretended, okay, I watched, I Googled everything, like what the uniform looked like. And okay, then I imagined, okay, what would it feel like to run with combat boots? Okay, those pants are like this. How would it feel to run like that? How would it feel to run with the duty belt on, right? Excuse me. And then sometimes just in my room, I pretend, oh, what would it feel like to have a red surge on, right? Instead of attention. You have to be there in your mind first before you actually do it. It helps so much. It helps bring everything forward. It really does. Yeah, you might feel, well, you will feel stupid when you first start. I smile in the mirror every day. Every time I'm in front of a mirror, when I'm alone in the washroom, I smile at my face. And that was something that Bob Proctor had mentioned in the film The Secret. That always stayed with me. And I remember how stupid I felt when I first started doing it alone in my washroom. And now it's just a habit, because I thought, you know what, if I'm in a bad mood, if I smile to myself, you can't help but be happy. And then, I tell myself what I like about my face. I want to be like, oh, you're so fat. Oh, your eyebrows are so gross. Well, although my eyebrows used to be not on point. Yeah, because why not? Just go in the mirror. How do I want the world to see me? I want the world to see me like this. I don't want the world to see me like, no. Play a little mind game of how you want to be. There is a person out there that you admire, that you think, I'd love to be like her. Not 100% like her, but there's some traits that you would like to have. I remember for me, the movie, There's Something About Mary. I always thought, my God, I would want to be like Mary. Not like, not the older lady that I used to tan. That was all like, looked like leather with the dog. But yeah, her personality, and not the version of Mary with the bangs. Anyways, stay on point here. No, the personality that Mary had, like, everybody related to her. She was so likable, right? And I don't know, I think I'm a very likable person. I like myself. People that don't like me, that's okay. They don't have to like me. There's a lot of people like that I don't like. It's about an energy. I might be too much for some people, because I'm a paradigm disturber. I'm a shift disturber. I don't care anymore, because it's not that I don't care, and it's not to be disrespectful. I've come to an awareness. I'm so comfortable in my skin. I've overcome so much in such a short amount of time. And I've seen so much in 10 years that I was a police officer. And even before that, the type of person that I was before I became a police officer, ooh, wow, that was not good. Not good at all. I feel bad for my ex. Oh, yeah. Pascal, if you're watching this, I'm so sorry. He's not a good person. For years on end, I blame everything on him. No. I played my part, and I played a really good part. Anyways, off topic. An image in your mind. You have to believe that you're good enough for whatever you want to do, right? And it might feel like a lie at first, and you'll probably be like lying to yourself at first, because that's not what your old self believes. That's not what paradigm. Wow, I was trying to say paradigm and programming at the same time. So your paradigm has a certain opinion about you. You got to change that, right? And that's just done through repetition. You always repeat it. Affirmations. I'm so happy and grateful now that I am confident talking in front of people. I am so happy and grateful now um, that everything works and flow. I'm not sure. I don't know what to think. I know what to think. Well, I know what to say, but I just don't want to share what my affirmations are because they're another lesson is trample the terror barrier. So overcoming barriers to success, because we're all going to face fear. It's what you do with the fear that's going to make the biggest difference. And I've talked about this in my live videos. Fear is false experiences appearing real. Fear is only there because it's the unknown. We don't know what's going to happen. Because the paradigm, the old you, the old version of your mind, well, it's used to getting the result that it's getting, and it's really happy with it. Yeah, because we know it's comfortable. We're happy there. We might not like the results, but we're happy with what we're believing in. No. So now, once you start changing the habits, once you start changing your belief system, once you start changing your thoughts, feelings are going to start to change. You'll have days where you're really super motivated, then boom, oh, resistance. Oh, no, I'm not going to do that today. I'm not going to go to the gym today. I'm going to skip. If you find yourself procrastinating, that's a sign of fear. So fear will show up. Keep in mind your old belief system. Like I said before, you spend a whole lot of time and energy fueling those belief system or that belief system. So when you're trying to change it, oh, it's not happy. So when you start feeling resistance and fear, you start catching yourself procrastinating, that is a good sign. That's where you tell yourself, oh my God, it's happening. It's happening. I'm resisting. I don't want to do the work. I feel like shit. That means that the new belief, you might not believe it at first. I know, been there. It's hard to believe when you're stuck in the fear or stuck like, I don't want to. But if you do it anyways, if you feel the fear, feel the resistance, say procrastination and do it anyways, once you get started and when you're done, you're like, oh my God, I'm so happy I did that workout. Oh my God, I'm so happy I followed through. I'm so happy. Every time it's happened to you and you pushed forward and did whatever you needed to do, you felt really good about it. I know you did. There's no way that you didn't feel good about yourself after you did something that you were supposed to do, because that's keeping an agreement with yourself. So double whammy win here. You're keeping an agreement with yourself and you're moving past the fear. Triple whammy. And you're fueling the new belief system over the old belief system. That's what happens when you start being aware of yourself, when you really study and understand how you operate. And you got to play little games with yourself, right? And that's just a game that I started playing with myself, because I came through I hit some like major fear, especially not with the business so much. I did, but mainly as soon as I started being open about being a consultant, about being a coach and helping people with their goals. Like at first I'm like, oh, but I knew that I had a really good track record. I mean, had a respectable career. I had a really great career. I was respected in my job. I was really good at my job. I know I was good at my job. I always gave it my all. I was not a slacker. I went above and beyond for absolutely everything. Treated my clients, criminal, co-workers alike with respect, supervisors with respect. I was of service, right? So I knew that. So I'm like, okay, well, maybe they're going to respect that. But who am I? Who am I to help them? Well, okay, I had a dark time, like a really dark time with post-traumatic stress. But yeah, I had, yeah, I was a cop, but then I had post-traumatic stress. So maybe they'll think I fail as a police officer. Self-talk. Then I'd be like, well, no, you had post-traumatic stress. You lost your father in the midst of post-traumatic stress, and you came back and built yourself a better life, serving others the way you wanted to serve them from the get-go without being in danger. Win. And so then I was like, okay, we're doing this. And then after a conversation with Bob Proctor, it's almost like I got permission to go ahead. Yeah, it was uncomfortable. I felt the fear, but I moved forward, and then as I help people, well, then I gain more confidence too as a consultant and help people get their own results. I have a client now. She wrote me an email. Oh, I have to get her permission to read the email, but telling me how working together has changed her life in just a short amount of time going through the program, and just how the time was just perfect for us to meet, and that she related to me because I am me, because of my journey. That is my biggest takeaway so far from January 2020. How about that to start the year right, to start the decade right? Because I pushed forward. Even if the fear was there, I did what I wanted to do deep down because I knew I was working on something bigger, bigger than me, bigger than myself. And I just trusted. I just trusted that life was going to just take me exactly where I needed to be. And then our path crossed. She related to me, heart to heart, mind to mind. We're working together. She's seeing big results. I'm living my purpose. I'm living my dream. So by me doing the work on me from my darkness to light, I'm helping her do the same thing. And it's my dream to do the same with BRCMP, first responder, anybody. But of course, it's easier for me to relate with people with post-traumatic stress, and from being a first responder, because that's what I know. I can totally completely relate, right? But yeah, so fear, you can use the power or the energy of fear, make it work for you. It's all about perception. We always have a choice. We always have the decision if what we're going to do with that thought or that energy that comes through. Is it going to be positive or negative? If you find yourself going on the negative side, okay, well, how can I flip that around to the positive? Give different meanings to something. Like what I was saying earlier, when I lost my father, I gave it the meaning that he gave his life. He gave up his life so I could find my life again and be on purpose. I tell myself he's kind of living through me, being of service, because Dad was like that. Dad was a really great listener. Nothing has meaning but the meaning you give it. Make that work for you. Don't give it bullshit meaning that are not going to serve you. Don't live in the prison of yourself. Go for freedom. Go on the other side. Do it. And then after that, after we go through that, we align actions and results with the vision. So we just have to take the belief system and match it to what we're doing. The belief. You have to believe. If you don't believe, it's the same thing as a self-image, having a winning self-image, right? If you don't have a winning self-image, and if you don't believe that you can do something, well, guess what? Yeah, ain't gonna happen. But winning self-image, belief, magic happens. It's that simple. Isn't it simple? But isn't it also a piss off? Isn't it a bitch that we overcomplicate everything? I'm so sorry that I'm cursing, but it just makes it kind of more interesting, doesn't it? Anyways, I'm giving you the real me here. This is raw. Just count yourself lucky that I'm not crying, but the video's not over yet. The magic word: attitude, 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 attitude. And the mindset of successful people. Attitude is always going to give you what you want. Attitude will always give you what you want. Bad attitude, you're going to get bad results. Have a good attitude, you're going to get good results. People will always be attracted to people that have a good attitude, and will always kind of stay away from people that have a bad attitude. I make a point to stay away from people with bad attitudes. I don't want that in my life. I don't need that. If you want to live a negative life, go live it somewhere else. Yeah, you have freedom of expression. I also have freedom of not here. No, sir. Nope. No, madam. If you want to work on your attitude, though, if you want to have tips and tricks on how to have a better attitude, then I'm your girl. But if you want to vomit your bad attitude on me, oh, no. Try it. I ain't gonna laugh. Oh, positive vibes here. Positive. Oh. And then lesson 10, the most valuable person. Okay. I go by lessons here just to give you an idea. So if you're taking notes, just take notes on what you want to work on for yourself. And if you have questions, you can send me a message, and then I'll help you. You learn to become an effective leader. The leader of you. You're going to become your own mentor. You're able to lead yourself in the right direction, right? Instead of always asking people, what do you think? Well, this is what I'd like to do. What do you think? Stop asking others what they think, because most of the time they're not thinking. Mental activity does not constitute thinking. Okay, but then you also learn to be both a follower and a leader at the same time, because during conversation, you have to be both. You have to find the balance. If you're truly present, if you're truly aware of who you are and are present in the moment, and then you're engaging in real conversations and in situations, you learn when your cue is to be a follower, when you can be a leader. That's really important. How many people do we know that they're leaders all the time? They know it all. But yet their results show that they don't know it all. Right? And some people are just followers. They can't get that confidence to be a leader, and even a leader of themselves. So the biggest takeaway of all this, so that everything that I'm doing and all the live videos and here, what I'm talking about is, yes, you want to achieve goals, you want to grow as a person, but the main thing is the awareness of who you are. Be full of yourself. The self, the creator of yourself. Be full of that. Be full of yourself. It's your life. You are your own being. I am my own being. Why wouldn't I want to know myself? Why would I go with the doctor and give my doctor so much power to tell me her opinion, and I'm going to latch on to that? Oh, this is what I got. This is what you think I got. Oh my God, I'm dying. I can't do that because my doctor says this is what I have. That is basically how society lives right now. You know, I'm sure you have an aunt like that too. You all do. Are you that person? Oh, stop. Stop that right now. You have to be the doctor of you. And know that it's not a shameless plug for Glow Juicery, but yes, a little bit. Food is medicine. Food is fuel. No, seriously. You got to stop giving power to everybody else. Yes, you go see doctors. Yes, you go see professionals to get opinions, to get guidance, to get help. Okay? But you don't have to. In some instances, yes, you absolutely have to. Yes, I agree. Absolutely. But when it comes to you, really you, and then there's just so much chaos going on, no clarity, because we're just bombarded with all the information and not connected emotionally, because all we're doing is suppressing the anxiety that we feel from overload in information, because, oh my God, I got so much overload, so much information. I don't know what to do with all this. So, what do I do? Suppress the anxiety. Can you resonate with that? Do you know people like that? So you have to study yourself. When you go to school, you study a subject because you want to work at that, right? If you love cars, like Davey, he loves Mustangs. It's annoying how much he loves Mustangs. No, it's great actually. But he knows everything about Mustangs. He studies that. For me, my passion, I have a whole lot of passion. Wellness, overall wellness is my passion. But now my true passion is recovery, health, and wellness. Recovery. We are the doctors of ourselves when it comes to what we put in our body as food. I know how white sugar affects me. It's like poison. I feel, no, I was going to say, I get anxiety when I eat sugar. No. When I eat sugar, I get a feeling that feels the same as anxiety. I get heart palpitation. Brrr. Yeah. Like I had like maybe 5 cups of coffee or something. Yeah. God, no, I don't eat coffee. And then I know when I eat more greens and when I drink my water, I feel good. I have more energy. I'm not, ugh. When I don't drink water, I find that I get stressed out more, like in my body. I feel tight. And feeding the thoughts. Oh my God. I have to find I don't know how to transmute what my epiphany, what my knowledge, my understanding of the mind is to you. I wish you could just get a quick glimpse, maybe not. But yes, the power that we have by just changing our thinking, it changes absolutely everything. It transforms your life. It does. And it took me knowing darkness before. And that's usually what happens to everybody that gets into self-development and that gets as passionate as I am about this. It's because shit hit the fan, something happened, and they had to do something about it. Let's not wait to have to do something about it. Do it now. It's so much better to learn in a joyful manner than it is from darkness and you're feeling so destroyed and broken and just there's so much resistance and it's so hard to learn. I know, I've been there. Don't wait till you know darkness. Choose now to have a great life. Why not? It just makes everything so much pleasurable. Relationships with yourself. If you have, chances are you don't have a good relationship with yourself. When you look at yourself in the mirror naked, what's the first thing you think? Oh, shit. I didn't do it. I didn't do my workout. I look like shit. I got cellulite. Oh my God. I'm going on a trip. I'm not going to look good in a bikini. I don't do that anymore. Even when I feel fat, even if I'm PMSing, no. I appreciate my body for what it is. I have a fake hip. I had a hip replacement. You never know I had a hip replacement. So I thank my body. And I thank my body for all the shit that I put it through. I used to smoke. I smoked for years. It's only been 10 years since I quit smoking. I used to eat like crap and all the stress that I put it under. Oh, right? You have to be really good to yourself and you really have to truly understand. You have to know how you operate. Oh, I thought like that. I reacted like that. Oh, why? Okay, I got to adjust my thinking. Oh, I feel like this. Why is this? Okay, what was I thinking? I need to change that. And do you feel excited when you get up in the morning? No? Okay, let's change that. Why not? Why aren't you feeling excited? You really have to make you the most important person. You have to be the most important person that you're going to ever invest in. Time, money, emotions, food, all the good stuff, all the self-care. Self-care is healthcare. Truly is. Yeah. keep doing that. And then, like I said before, we are our own problem. We truly are. Right? Unless you're somebody that just blames the outside world for absolutely everything. Well, if you're a person that does that, that nothing's your fault, it's everything else around you, all the circumstances, I go, ooh, I want to check that. I want to check that. It's how you respond and react to things, or how you react to things. How you respond is really going to help how you see things, perception, right? If you can't change whatever's going on around you, change the way you look at it, and then things change. It's all up to you. It's always up to you. So we are our own problem, but you know what? The nice thing is that we are our own solution. We truly are. So, in a nutshell, that is what thinking into results is. Yeah, it's just living a good life, thinking the good thoughts. Life's not going to be perfect just because you're thinking good thoughts, right? Thinking by itself is not going to change your results. But as you internalize the proper thinking, the right thoughts, well, then the paradigm starts to change. The belief system starts to change. Well, then behavior starts to change. And then we start acting differently. And then the results change. It's a process. Everything is done through a process. So I don't care where you're at in life right now. It's doable to change your life if it's not what you want it to be. And when I say that, I'm not saying that you're not perfect just the way you are. We are all perfect just the way we are. But are you happy with the results that you're getting? We're all perfect the way we are, but we all have room for improvement, right? Where are you at? January is coming to a close, coming to an end. Hopefully that was helpful. I know it was a long one. The best way that I can share the information, is by sharing my own experience. I wish I could share the experience of some of my clients, but it's private. So I will get some of my clients to do some testimonials, and maybe I'll even have an interview with one of them. That'd be great. There's one that, two actually, that, yeah, they're going to have a big impact. If you have any questions, if you are interested in booking a one-on-one, a discovery conversation, we can surely do that. If you need help finding your goal, or just having a plan on where to go, or if you're just interested in the coaching, contact me, send me a private message, or go to social media, Facebook, Instagram, Recovery Studio, or Glow Juicery, or Melanie Dufour, or Mindsight Consulting. You can also email me at mel@glowjuicery.ca, and I would love to speak with you. I would love to find out where your mindset is at, how we can do a mind shift to take you to Mindsight. I love what I do. I'm passionate about what I do, and I love people. I love seeing people getting results. So thank you for coming in. I hope you took some notes, and I really hope that was of some value to you. So if it was, share the link, tell people about it, and go to my business page, Mindsight Consulting, like it, and perhaps share. Thank you. All the best. Best of thoughts.